What is going on, guys? So in tonight's video, I want to go ahead and just talk about the Golf R. And with all these delivery posts and pickup posts that I'm reading online, the forums and Reddit, I suddenly realized that I've developed quite a case of FOMO. All right, and especially after watching Charles's video, aka the Humble Mechanic, I thought it would be pretty cool if I were to get a Golf R to pick it up myself, personally, pre-PDI'd, and having a chance to actually see the car myself and spending some time with it and actually doing an unboxing. So that'd be great. But looking at the Mark 8 Golf R design, this is a beautiful car. I think it's a lot more aggressive than the most recently released Mark 8 GTI. Ever since I saw it, I just really thought it was a beautiful car. Just a little nitpicky stuff, like the only thing was the headlights. I thought wasn't aggressive enough. I mentioned it in my previous video, but overall it's a really, really beautiful car. But I would like to kind of just talk about the colors for a little bit. It comes for the launch year. It's for 2022. It's only going to come with 3 colors. I'm assuming they're going to go ahead and introduce more colorways in the future for the next 2023, most likely. But you got your deep black pearl, which replaces the black sapphire pearl, I think. You got your pure white, which replaces the oryx white. That's disappointing. They actually did a swap with the Mark 7 GTIs with the pure white. Now the Mark 8 GTIs actually has the option for the oryx white. Now, just a little background, the oryx white is a little bit more pearlescent in color, a deeper white, but the pure white, I think it pops more though, like it's actually white. But the Peas Blue Metallic is also the trademark color, which is coming back. With that set aside, I think the topic in hand tonight will be the Golf R markups. All right. I don't know, would you guys pay the markup? And if you were to pay, how much will you pay? What's the limit? Because as far as I know, or as far as I'm looking at, the dealerships doesn't seem to have a limit. It's like the sky's the limit for them, actually. I mean, anywhere from, I think they have on average, if you're lucky though, you're getting MSRP for the Golf R. That's if if you have a high volume dealership who sells at MSRP, etc. Very lucky. $2,000, $3,000, and $5K sounds about in a way normal, especially if maybe the dealership throws in their own versions, like I don't know, like wheel warranty, actual warranty, ceramic coating, PPF, etc. But if there's an astonishing like a post about $10,000 markups today, this afternoon actually, I was scrolling through the forums and I saw this this Facebook Marketplace post, I think, and I'm assuming it's from a dealership. It's asking, let's see, the elusive Mark 8 Golf R, 251 miles on the clock. So that's a ton of miles on the odometer, I think, right? First 70K takes it. So they're asking 70,000 for a Golf R. Now the DSG starts at 44,445, and that's pre-destination. Now with the delivery destination charge added up, we're looking at 45,440. So let's round it up to 45.5. From 45.5 MSRP for a 7-speed dual clutch, that is a almost 54% markup. If you're willing to pay that markup, why not go ahead and consider the competition? And in tonight's video, I think we're going to take a closer look directly at the Audi S3. That's the direct competitor with the same engine as the Golf R. And that versus the BMW 2022, that's also a hot car, the M240i, which is standard with all-wheel drive and its new engine. Now that new engine is basically the power for your dollar aspect of it, which makes it really enticing to go ahead and cross-shop between the Golf R, the S3, and the BMW. Now, next I want to go ahead and just talk take a really quick look at the standard features of the R. But most likely, they're very similar to the GTI Autobahn edition. Now for the Autobahn trim, if you have a chance to take a look, I actually made a video about the GTI breaking down each trim, so you could go ahead and take a look at that. So we're kind of just going to have speed through the standard features. Now in the standard features for the Golf R, you're looking at 19-inch wheels with performance tires, so your summer tires, your adaptive front LED, your adaptive front suspension, which is your DCC, dynamic chassis control, the 4-motion all-wheel drive, and with the 2022 Mark 8s, they have like a tricked out torque vectoring system that brings 50% of the power to the rear. And within that 50%, 100 of that will be sent to each individual wheel when it needs it. So that's true vectoring right there. Has Nappa leather seating with memory, ventilated seats, and heated seats for the front and back. It has a heated steering wheel, a digital cluster with navigation, highly customizable from my time within the GTI Autobahn. And you have your Harman Kardon premium sound system. You also have your HUD, your heads-up display, and overall the suite of the IQ drive, so your suite of safety features that come standard. Keep these features in mind because we're going to go ahead and talk about the other competitions and what they offer, and actually not what they lack. All right, so just right off the bat, the Golf R comes pretty much loaded and very well equipped. Now we're going to go ahead and next talk about the Audi S3. All right, so here's the S3. The S3 basically comes in 3 trims. It comes in your Premium Plus, and your Prestige. Now, from a premium standpoint, you're looking at a MSRP of $45,800, and that is pre-destination. So for a destination charge, I actually think Audi charges a lot more. Well, not a lot more. I think it's $100 more than the $995 offered on the BMWs and the Volkswagen. They're asking for a $1095 delivery charge. So that brings you up from the base MSRP premium trim to a total of $46,895 for a premium trim shipped and delivered if you don't want any type of options. Now we're going to go ahead and just talk a little bit about the standards, which is kind of disappointing. Now, if you're going for the premium to start off, you're looking at 18-inch rims standard. You're looking at a power adjustable front seat, but no memory. You're looking at wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I mean, that's comparable to the Golf R. A panel sunroof, which is also standard on the Golf R, and lane departure warning. Now, in terms of interior features, you don't even have auto dimming mirrors. It's a manual dimming mirror. And you have heated front seats, but not heated rear seats. I don't think there's an option to even have ventilated seats or a heated steering wheel. All right, so as you move up closer to the Premium Plus and the Prestige model, for the Premium Plus, you're looking at a $48,600 starting price. For that, you get your adaptive cruise and your lane guidance. Finally, you get memory seats. You get your Audi Advanced Key. I'm assuming that's the Kessie system, comparable to Kessie from the Volkswagen, which means it's keyless entry. So I think you might have to physically unlock your car using your key fob if you go with the premium trim S3. Now with the Prestige trim, you have something that the Golf R doesn't have, which is the Matrix design LED headlights. They both offer LED headlights and taillights. However, the Matrix design is it's their new innovative design where I think it forms like a checkered flag in a way. I'll go ahead and maybe try to find some footage of it and throw it up. You have your Bang & Olufsen sound system, which is your premium sound versus the Harman Kardon. And you have your virtual cockpit, which I give Audi that. They have the best out of the virtual cockpits or digital clusters. It's the nicest looking and much more smoother, I think, with the NVIDIA chip, if they're still using it, versus the BMW live cockpit versus the versus the Golf R's, Volkswagen's digital cluster, digital dash. You're also getting heads-up display finally on the Prestige, and you're finally getting navigation on the Prestige. Now that is a starting price at $52,400. Now compare that to the MSRP of $45,500 for the Golf R. You're already looking at quite a premium that you're paying for the 4 rings, right? Now, in order for you to go ahead and actually bring you up to a Golf R type of comparison, you need to add at least $800 for the 19-inch wheels to get the S Sport package for an additional $1,100 on top of your Prestige trim to actually get your Sport suspension with damper control. All right, and I guess they throw in the red brake calipers as well, the red painted brake calipers. If you want the blacked out trims, blacked out mirrors, etc., you need to get the black optics, and we all know about the black optics that Audi offers throughout the whole lineup. The most important thing is the torque vectoring all-wheel drive system that the Golf R has. The S3 doesn't offer at all. So I think the S3 might be still using either the same generation Haldex or a newer generation Haldex for the all-wheel drive system. Now I think you guys get my point. The compared to a S3 in its full ultimate trim, the Prestige, the Golf R is just more bang for the buck. If you could get it at MSRP, it comes fully loaded with everything at more than $10,000 off. Don't get me wrong, the S3 is a really nice car, especially with the interior. I think they hit a home run with the interior. It's just a perfect medium between a minimalistic cabin and a more futuristic cabin, but they're keeping it. Audi does a really good job at that. Now the Golf R, I think the Volkswagen tried to go that route in a way, but they made it more plain than anything else, right? So in a perfect world, I think the Golf R will keep its exterior and keep have Audi trickle down the interior design into the Golf R.
Cannon strike!
Next, we have the BMW. We're looking at the M240i again. This comes in a two-door coupe, four-seater configuration only. And it only comes in automatic, and it only comes in all-wheel drive. And their X-Drive in the 2 Series, I think for X-Drive in most of them is rear-wheel drive bias, so that's pretty cool. But I'm liking what I'm seeing already. Starting standard, we have 19-inch wheels, which is comparable to the Golf R. Not the S3, because S3 you have to pay in addition to go ahead and upgrade to your 19-inch rims. You're looking at the ZF8 transmission versus the 7-speed dual clutch in the S3 and the R. It has your adaptive M suspension, which I believe is BMW's version of DCC. So you go ahead and choose between comfort mode, normal mode, sport mode, and your individual drive settings, I believe. And basically most of the creature comforts you come to expect from a 2022 vehicle. It comes with ambient lighting, navigation as standard, versus the S3, which you have to actually pay for, and you have to go full on prestige. Now, what I'm missing, let's see, you won't find these features in the M240. You won't be finding heated seats at standard. You won't find LED headlights at standard. The Live Cockpit Pro, which is, I believe, is you need this to go ahead and get your latest revision of the iDrive 7 OS, your heads-up display, and your premium audio. All this, you have to go ahead and get the premium sound package. And even if you want the premium Harman Kardon sound system, I believe you have to add in an additional 800. So that's not part of the premium package. And not available at all in the BMW is wireless charging, ventilated seats, and heated rear seats, all which is available standard in the Golf R. So with all the options compared and contrasted, let's go ahead and just see how I would spec out my M240 if I were to get it. Basically, the first thing that the BMW website configuration does for you is they let you have the option to choose between the Shadowline or your regular M Performance trim. Basically, what the Shadowline package is, it's your black optics from Audi, meaning you kind of able to black out everything surrounding the exterior trim. The 240 actually comes standard with a little bit of a Shadowline trim exterior, so I think they only black out the window and the door trims, but they keep the grille and the intake ducts and the side mirrors all dark chrome. Now, if you were to get the Shadowline, you black out everything basically. But depending on what color you get, I think it works with the chrome as well. So I'm gonna kind of jump the gun a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and speak about my configuration all said and done. From here, I basically forgo the Shadowline. That saves me $400. I went ahead and paid the premium to get the Brooklyn Gray Metallic. I went ahead and got the red leather because I think it's a really good contrast and good color package. And overall, the only package I got was a premium package. I needed a premium package to go ahead and kind of future-proof myself in a way. I think the Live Cockpit Pro is a must. It's a necessity if you want to go ahead and get the iDrive 7, the latest OS. The heated steering wheel, the heated front seats, the LED, which I think is a must, the adaptive full LED lights, the automatic high beams is okay, and the heads-up display. And in terms of the cooling and high performance tire package, I don't really track the car at all, so most likely I don't need it. If you run your car hard, I think it comes with an oil cooler and also a extra fan, I think, to go ahead and or maybe a heavy duty fan to go ahead and cool off the engine after it runs hot. Overall, I think I'm gonna forego that as well. Now, they do come with a pretty neat package or a neat option, which is the driver's camera, I think, or it's basically their version of a dash camera. I think it's called technically your drive recorder. It's variable in terms of you being able to manually set the recording. You could press a button, and then from there it sets. You could set the time of how many seconds prior to the event that you press a button or during impact that it records, and how much longer after the fact. So the only thing is, it's not a 24/7 parking mode enabled capable recorder. Now that's only for $100, but the thing is, that's how they get you, I think, because in order for you to get that, you need the 360 cameras, and 360 camera, you need the parking assistance package. So from there, I believe it's 800 total. So I'm probably not going to go ahead and do that. And overall, let's see, we're coming at a total of, for the BMW with destination charge, 54,370. Now keep that in mind, because the Golf R is 45.5. The S3 optioned out, comparable to the Golf R, is 56,545, and that is with the ibis white, without the premium color, without the surcharge or any other color. If you're looking at other colors, you're looking at $600 extra on top of the Audi, but we're picking the flat white. And for the BMW, it's 54,370. If you were to pick between the S3 and the M240, if you don't need the 4 doors, the 240 is actually a pretty good deal compared to the Audi S3. Now next, we are going to talk about performance. Let's go ahead and just talk about 0 to 60 times. For the Golf R, it is 4.7 seconds. For the S3, it's 4.5 0 to 60. And lastly, the M240 is at 4.1 seconds 0 to 60. 315 horsepower for the R, 305 for the S3, and 382 for the M240, right? You can't blame anybody for liking that B58. The B58 is basically the bread and butter throughout the whole lineup. They use it in the M240, they use it in the 340, they use it in the X3, the 40i, they use it in the base X5, the Z4. Now, if Toyota deems this a worthy successor to his Mark IV Super and place it in their GR Mark V Super, then there's something special about the engine, right? So from there, I think it's really quite astonishing how much power BMW pushes out in their inline sixes in each generation. Now, talking about this, how does this translate? We will go ahead and just take a look at the most recent Lightning lap that Car and Driver released right here. I have it right in front of me. In the year 2022, these are the results from VIR. Luckily, they have the Golf R in there. They have the M240, and also they have the GTI. So I want to go ahead and just touch up a little bit about the GTI for just a minute. It ran a 312 around the lap, and it is at, let's see, for the GTI, it is at 3311 in terms of a curb weight. Now moving on, we have the Golf R. The Golf R lapped 3 minutes and 4 seconds. So I think that is an 8-second time difference faster than the previous generation Mark 7R, which I have. Now, that also translates into the same lap time as a current generation Mark 8 GTI. So that's a pretty interesting fact, because the Mark 8 GTI right now is just as quick or just as great in performance as the previous generation Mark 7. And lastly, we have the M240, and that lapped a 303. So that is only a second quicker than the Golf R. So that's pretty amazing, I think, in terms of the Golf R being less in power, right? But the M240 definitely weighs a lot more, right? I think it's around 400 pounds more. So given that, I think Car and Driver also went ahead and they threw a discretion in saying that BMW did not give them a car with the cooling and high performance tire package. So maybe that slowed down the car a little bit. But given that, it's pretty impressive what the Mark 8 Golf R is pushing out compared to its performance versus the 240. Don't get me wrong, the whole purpose of this video was to not really talk negatively about the Golf R. The thing is, if you're willing to pay that much extra, you're placing yourself in a whole new bracket or whole new category, and basically a different league of vehicles. And I'm going to go ahead and just get a little bit off topic, just throwing a car out there. The Tesla Model 3 Performance, that's basically the same price, right, And from there, why not consider that? Unless you're totally not against EVs and everything, let's go ahead and just bring it back to basics. I think there's a better chance to actually order the M240 and get it at MSRP than getting the R at MSRP right now. Again, don't get me wrong, they're both hot sellers right now at the current moment. I'm not saying that the 240 won't get any markups, but I'm just saying that you probably will get a better chance at going to the dealership if you're willing to wait and throw in a custom order a M240 and having it MSRP. On the contrary, however, vice versa, let's go ahead and just be fair and talk about how if you're interested in a 240 or Beamer and you're looking into entry level high BMW performance, why not consider a Golf R at MSRP, right? Now, that is, of course, if you could find a dealership that offers you the chance to order it and get on the wait list at MSRP. Now, earlier in the video, I stated to keep all the standard features in mind because for 45.5, the Golf R basically comes fully loaded and you don't have to go ahead and mess with any type of packages. All right, guys, so that is about it for today. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Would you pay a markup for the Golf R? And if so, what is your limit? How much? Or do you guys think it's time to move on if paying that markup pushes the Golf R into a 50K to 60K car? Would you consider another vehicle, right? In this case, would you consider S3, just like this video? Would you consider the M240, or would you consider a totally different car, entry-level performance, luxury, or possibly even waiting for the 11th generation Civic Type R, or the new STI that's incoming? And for those who are who had the allocation of their Mark 8 Golf R, congratulations, because that is a heck of a car. It's beautiful, and just enjoy the car. And if so, maybe leave a comment down below if you paid markup, if any. But other than that, really, thank you guys for watching this video. It's long, I know, and as always, take care.